Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new day of Road to TCG World 2017. Today's Friday, we're not doing Pokedex just yet. First I want to do all the GXs from the new set along with the new strategies as well, such as Trevenant, Vileplume decks. So we'll be putting that series on a hiatus. We did have 4 episodes in a row the week before Guardians Rising came out, but I do want to make sure that you guys get to see all of the hype decks around and like some interesting takes on things like Metagross GX, Vikavolt, etc. So with that in mind, today's turn is for Drampa-GX. Now, an unfortunate thing here is that I don't have access to the promo cards and therefore I don't have access to the Magma Stadium, which places damage counters. But I still think Drampa-GX is a really interesting card. 180 HP. It's very similar to Taurus in a way, like in its stats. It has 1 less retreat cost, I guess, but its attacks are way more interesting, I would say. Righteous Edge, dealing 20 damage and discarding a special energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. That seems like a pretty good attack. We're not doing like an energy removal kind of deck just yet. This is a more straightforward, aggressive Drampa Garbodor deck, but you do get access to that attack to try and annoy your opponent. And then you also get the attack Berserk, which deals 80 damage, but if your bench Pokemon have any damage counters on them, this attack does 70 more damage. Now that's 150 damage total, which is pretty nice. And just as I'm saying this, I was thinking that maybe Enhanced Hammer would be too big of a threat, but I'm gonna not worry about it, and I'm gonna play 4 Rainbow Energy, just so that I can make sure that I always get access to Drampa's maximum damage output, or at least as many times as possible. The extra damage counter probably won't matter too much in the big scheme of things because things are hitting so hard, but we'll see. So yeah, we have the 3 Drampa-GXs, and we have our 4-3-1 line of Garbodor with Trash Avalanche, which people are saying is really broken. I say it just makes you have to play more careful, and it punishes you for carelessness. So it is possible to keep the damage from Trash Avalanche in check, at least up until the point where you are ready to like finish off the game, and then you want to just use up all your item cards and resources. So I do think this is obviously a very strong card and it forces you to play differently, but I don't think it's as broken as people make it out to be sometimes. We do have the Garbotoxin, Garbodor as well. We have our 2 Tapu Lele-s and 1 Shaymin, and our 4 Trubbishes, the very cute Trubbishes. The rest of the deck is pretty standard, although I am running 3 Sycamore, 2 N, 3 Lysander, and 2 Hala. Now Hala, you get to shuffle your hand into your deck, and if you've used your GX attack, you draw 7 cards instead of 4, so it's essentially a better N in the early game if you've used your GX attack. And thankfully we have a very useful GX attack with Drampa, which for a single energy you shuffle your hand into your deck and then draw 10 cards. So really nice setup card, I would say. I feel like Drampa will start getting included in quite a few decks. I feel like it could be a decent inclusion in even Decidueye Vileplume decks. It seems a lot stronger than Taurus for some reason. If you're playing the Rainbow Energy version, you can make sure you deal extra damage with Berserk that way. The Big Wheel attack helps in setting up. Righteous Edge, discarding special energy is really good, even for the mirror match. So yeah, definitely has its uses. And I am running the 4 Choice Band and 4 Float Stone. Now 4 Choice Band simply because it's just that good. Choice Band is that good. Float Stone is great too, free retreat and whatnot, but the Choice Bands to power up Berserk, to power up Righteous Edge, like dealing 50 damage for a single energy and discarding as special energy, that's pretty good. That's honestly pretty good. And of course the extra damage for Trash Avalanche or Tapu Lele's energy drive is always appreciated. We also have Ninja Boy, and because of that I considered playing a single copy of Taurus because of the Ninja Boy, and I'm thinking about including it just now, but I guess we can leave it at we can leave the deck as it is right now, and we'll try to evaluate or try to think of of possible scenarios where a Ninja Boy would have been useful. So let's jump into a ladder, try to find some games, and let's try and make or get the most out of this Drampa-GX deck. Now we are up against a colorless psychic deck as well, so this might be a mirror match, or we could be up like the Taurus Garb versus Drampa Garb, which I actually don't know what would be better. I actually don't know what would be better. Okay, so we have the double Trubbish start. We do have a Sycamore. I mean, access to a Sycamore or an N or even Hala if we really wanted to. We could also retreat into Drampa, and yeah, we see Lily, we see Psychic, we see Choice Bands, Float Stone. No doubt in my mind that this is kind of a mirror match. Yeah, the double mulligan and going first is always really cool. Really cool. I would like to draw the extra cards, please. And there's the Drampa, okay. So right off the bat, I mean, we can't attack on turn 1, obviously. I could place the Rainbow Energy on a Trubbish. I feel like the Trubbishes are going to be really important though. Okay, yeah. I'll attach here. And I will Float Stone the active. Yeah, I will Float Stone the active, and then I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna discard these 2 cards. I'm going to find nothing. And I'm going to Rescue Stretcher the Shaymin back. That way I draw 6 full cards. I could have kept the Rescue Stretcher and drawn 5, but it seems like a good way to draw that extra card. We also have another Rescue Stretcher and a Super Rod, so we're not really suffering right there. I do get some energy, I do get more Float Stone, and I do have a Lysander, so I'm gonna finish the turn this way. Not playing a supporter card, but I think that's fine. We have access to Lysander if we want to hit something on the bench, and we can start powering up the Drampa. And wow, my opponent actually doesn't have anything. So if I had attached the energy to the Drampa instead, I would have been good. I obviously don't want to end. I don't think I want to Sycamore just yet, like losing all the resources in Float Stone. But it seems like the correct play, I guess, to get closer to the potential DCE and a turn to knockout, I guess. We do hit the Garb, we don't hit the DCE, but we do have a few outs to it. I'm gonna discard these 2. And dealing 20 damage, is that worth it? Is dealing 20 damage worth it, or do I just... I should have gone for the other Garbodor to just shut down my opponent's potential draw. Yeah, I really should have done that. I'm gonna use my GX attack simply so that my Halas are now fetch me 7 cards. I do find a TCE, I find 4 energy actually, a Hala. I do find the Garbodor and Garb, so I mean we might just outright win, but if I had set up the Garbodor, I would have forced my opponent to have a field blower, and yeah, so poor match for my opponent. I'm really sorry. He should have probably pulled up this Garbodor, but oh well, because I would have dealt 0 damage actually. He would have bought himself an extra turn, or even the Shaymin. Oh no, Shaymin had a Float Stone, never mind. Okay, so now we're up against John Kettler, the guy who ended up, I don't know if he invented the C-Drive Alplum because some of my teammates were talking about the C-Drive Alplum before Anaheim, but definitely the guy who did well at the tournament, at back-to-back regionals actually, and popularized the heck out of it. So yeah, we're up against that guy. If you wanted to either thank or hate someone, no, please don't hate. You wanted to know who put the C-Drive Alplum on the map, it's John Kettler. Now, we are up against the Sylveon GX deck. So how do I approach this? Have to be very conservative with my resources, because he can easily remove energy. So I probably need to apply some sort of pressure with the Drampa, and then try to make him use resources for the Trubbish, like for Garbodor to get a good knockout here. So that's the goal, at least. We do find an energy. I could attach the rainbow to the bench Trubbish just to have that damage counter ready. And I'm gonna pass for now. I'm not gonna attach anything just yet. And slowly but surely we're gonna try to build up the damage on the Sylveons and use Drampa to deal damage. I mean, we do threaten with Berserk, and wait, he whiffs? Wait, what? Why would he do that? Did he do that on purpose so that I don't hit him for extra damage with a Choice Band? Really? That's an interesting choice by John. I don't want to waste my DCEs. My previous hand was so perfect. Maybe if I Hex Maniac here and prevent him from evolving, that's what I'm gonna do. I could also retreat, but no, that's just giving him a turn of not using. Well, I should have used the GX attack, I guess, actually. Yeah, there's the grunt. I knew that. Okay, there's another Eevee. And there's a quick draw head flip. Okay. He knows he's safe though. He's not using any item cards. He knows he's safe. And yeah. I mean, do I end here? Do I Sycamore? I'll just use the GX attack, I guess. Well, I'm gonna Hex Maniac to prevent him from using Energy Evolution. And I will Big Wheel GX this time around. Probably should have done it the previous turn though. Okay, so off of the 10 cards I get no energy whatsoever. No energy whatsoever. I could also consider using Ninja Boy. There's another regular Team for Grunt, so that's 2 special energy in the discard already, and he flips another head for a quick draw. Not using any item cards, and I think I Lele here for my other Hex, just to prevent him from evolving, or try to prevent him from evolving. And I'll hit him for 20 damage. I'm probably playing this wrong. Probably shouldn't be. Yeah. Probably shouldn't have been attaching the energy so quickly. Okay, he delinquents. So this and this guy. I wonder if this is a 4 delinquent list. Okay. Another heads. 3 heads for John Cutler. Okay. So we're gonna evolve here. And now we really want a DCE. Of course, he has played no item cards. But we're not able to find the DCE. Which really sucks, but what will you do? Hopefully he didn't find a single field blower if he does run any. The third, I mean, grunt, like regular grunt. There's a Sylveon. There it is. Oh boy. Yeah, this is not good. This is not good at all. Now we need to find more energy. But yeah, I mean, John is doing the right thing to keep Garbodor in check. I do find an energy. He will probably be able to remove it as well. But eventually he will run out of grunt. Well, I guess he does have Puzzle of Time. Yep, there's a 4th grunt. The 4th grunt. Wow. Fourth grunt. You do find a Super Rod though. I mean, if I attach an energy, I think I should end here and hope to draw a normal energy. Now, am I doing this wrong? Should I be super powering up a Lele? Should I be powering up Garbodor? I mean, okay, let's try that now then. Now we need to find a field blower plus a float stone so that we can retreat the Drampa. We do find the float stone but no field blower. There's no abilities due to Silent Lab, so we just pass here. Steven, fair enough. Interesting inclusion in the deck. Guarantees you a supporter for next turn and an energy, which is never bad. Lysander and Fairy Energy. And he uses Magical Ribbon now. So now, yeah. This is gonna be a very long game, guys. A very long game. Okay. And we just have to hope that our pressure is enough eventually to force him to use item cards like Enhanced Hammers, like Puzzles of Time, like VS Seekers. Like, he still has all 4 VS Seekers left. Yep, there's one. So Garbodor now deals 20 damage. Woo! Yep. Yeah, I'm just gonna concede. This game was like, he was going to win, and it would have gone on for so long that we wouldn't be able to showcase another deck. So I think I definitely played that wrong. I should have been powering up the bench rather than the active. Should have led with Trubbish as well, probably. Wow, yeah, actually using Trubbish's attack to discard cards, that seems like the right way to go about the matchup for sure. Yeah, that's definitely a superior way. Like, you don't want to go on the offensive, I'll just discard your cards, no problem. You can remove energy, but losing the psychics is not that impactful. And now we are going first once again. We are up against Volcanion this time around. So yeah, without the stadium though, Trubbish, like Drampa's second attack doesn't seem that good. Just, it requires too much energy, like too much effort. And if you're not getting the extra damage, it definitely doesn't seem worth it. And the Magma Stadium damage could even help you achieve some knockouts easier. I'm really confused here. Well, not confused, but just maybe we could have done something more. Okay. So I don't draw anything at all. So I'll just Hex Maniac turn 1. To prevent Hoopa, to prevent Shaymin, to prevent Lele. All of those things. Now Garbodor will be very important here. Very important. Itusian Ultra Ball, discarding Olympia and Lysander for a Turtonator. So as we said yesterday, all Volcanions lists should be using Turtonator GX, in my opinion. I do get very lucky and top deck the Float Stone, and I have Lysander to buy myself a little bit more time, and I can use the GX attack in order to draw 10 brand new cards, which, like, you should never dead draw off of 10 cards. Ever. You should really never dead draw off of 10 cards. My opponent already has 2 items in the discard pile. There's a third. And he's gonna deal potentially 50 damage. No, wow, okay. So he might actually knock out my Trubbish. Whoops. Okay, so if he doesn't knock out the Trubbish and he attacks me, then he immediately powers up my Drampa's attack. But Turtonator has 190 HP, so we would use a Lysander to knock out Volcanion. Wow, he does attack into the Trubbish, so he powers my Drampa up, which I'm very glad to see. Very glad. And I do have the Choice Band. Yeah, that 10 card draw was just awesome. 5 item cards now in my opponent's discard pile. So would I want to Ultra Ball away something? Not really. Well, maybe I should. No, because having the Ultra Ball means I can search for Lele under, like, after an end, if I get end next turn. So yeah, no, we get a pretty good knockout right here though. Pretty good knockout. Promotes Turtonator now. Well, he can knock me back, I guess. Yeah. 1 Volcanion EX and 2 Fire Energy gives him a knockout. There's the fire. Wow, he actually goes for the Shell Trap. Okay. I am okay with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, I'm still dealing 100. So I'm gonna leave poor Turtonator at 10 HP away. Sure, I'll search for a supporter card. I will search for Ninja Boy. Should I? Probably not. I'll search for Ninja Boy, but just so that I can discard the Ninja Boy. Gonna search for another Garb here. Discarding Ninja Boy and Field Blower. Well, another Trubbish, I mean. And I'm going to attach a TC to a Lele, and I'm gonna play a Hex to prevent my opponent from setting anything up, and we're gonna leave Turtonator at 10 HP away. Now I really wish I could have Lele for Kukui. We don't play Kukui. 190 HP Pokemon might force some of us to play Kukui, I don't know. Yeah, the format it's so strange, but I feel like there's so many viable decks right now that it's really exciting. It's honestly really exciting. There's a bright flame for the knockout. We only need to deal 10 damage. We do top deck an N, which is probably the card I should have gone for the previous turn, but that's okay. And we do get another Drampa, another Trubbish, a Hala, which is pretty nice since we already used our GX attack. And we're just gonna take a knockout with Drampa. Probably should have been actively searching for the Garbotoxin Garbodor, but we're so far ahead now that I don't think it matters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, there's no way my opponent can recover here without committing to a ton of item cards, and therefore Garbodor is about to explode in damage output. And then we have the easy target of Shaymin on the bench all the time. So yeah, using the GX attack was really a big differential in allowing us to set up. And yeah, wow, my opponent just not drawing anything. We top deck the Float Stone. We top deck the Float Stone to retreat. So Hala is my best play here. I'm just gonna thin out my deck just a little bit more so that all I need is a Garbodor or an Ultra Ball in order to win this turn, or a Psychic Energy. And there's a Psychic Energy. Oh, never mind. With the Psychic Energy, I do not win. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoops. I needed the Garbodor. Or, I should have attached the Choice Band to Lele, not to the Trubbish. Whoops. Oopsies. That was really dumb. That was actually really dumb. I made myself not win by not attaching the Choice Band to Lele. All I needed then was an energy to win. I mean, we're still going to win, but we could have won the previous turn, you know? And yeah, I mean, this deck is just pure beatdown. Garbodor keeps your opponent like humble in terms of how many resources they use. It keeps them humble, and then since you have different like offensive aggro techniques such as Tapu Lele, such as Drampas, Berserk, it's just an overall a balanced beatdown deck where you put early pressure, you have disruption, you have access to any supporter cards you want, you have the superior Hala to other supporter cards since you conserve resources, but you also get up to 7 cards. Yeah, I mean, I like the deck. I still feel Taurus outshines Drampa in that sense. Like the combination of Taurus and Tapu Lele is probably better than Drampa and Tapu Lele. Maybe Drampa, Taurus, Tapu Lele is the right play, but we require more testing to figure that out. So with this in mind, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please, let's get to 100 likes. It really helps out the channel. Please leave a like on the video. It really does help out. And yeah, I'll conclude the week of Guardians Rising today. Next week there will be VGC videos or video game videos on Saturday and Sunday most likely, and that's where they will be moving towards. But TCG will be daily as we've been doing, and next week we're going to be exploring Metagross, Vikavolt, Wishiwashi. What else am I missing? Well, the remaining GXs we haven't seen yet from Guardians Rising. Thank you guys so much, and bye bye.